Now at 6:30, we are staying on top of breaking news this morning out of Champlin. This is a live look at the scene in the 8200 block of 109th Place North. We've been here for the last hour or so, and there is a large presence there with crime scene tape in front of one home. Several viewers have emailed us saying something's going on. We're working to find out if anyone was injured in this incident. Again, we've reached out to Champlin Police several times for more information, trying to get those answers for you. We'll bring you any updates here on air and on our KSTP app.
Now, we are also hearing reports of something happening in Brooklyn Park. We have a crew on the way there right now as well.
Good Saturday morning. We are still covering breaking news right now at this time. What we know so far is this. Police are on the scene of two separate shootings in the Twin Cities. We have confirmed that two state lawmakers have been shot, along with one of the spouses of those lawmakers. Our sources confirm one state senator was shot is State Representative Melissa Hortman. She is pictured here. She was Speaker of the House for many years in the state legislature. The other person that we've confirmed has been shot is State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. He is of Champlin. And just within the last half hour, Governor Walz activated the State Emergency Operations Center. He says local law enforcement in Champlin and Brooklyn Park have the full resources of the state of Minnesota behind them.
Right now at 6, a state in mourning.
Our state lost a great leader, and I lost a dearest of friends.
Minnesota State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband shot dead in their Twin Cities area home. Shortly after, State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were shot and injured in theirs. The suspect impersonating a police officer.
The suspect exploited the trust of our uniforms that our uniforms are meant to represent.
Tonight, the latest on the man police believe is responsible as they investigate what's believed to be a politically motivated attack. Good evening, I'm Madison Green. Thanks for joining us. We start with breaking news tonight on the manhunt for the suspect police believe is responsible for these crimes. Police are looking for this man. His name is Vance Luther Bolter.
WCCO News starts now with breaking news.
An unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota.
A lawmaker and her husband gunned down in their own home.
This was an act of targeted political violence.
Another lawmaker and his wife also shot. Multiple neighborhoods paralyzed by the manhunt.
If you see anything suspicious, especially involving individuals impersonating law enforcement, please report it immediately.
And there will be tips, and this will be solved.
As a state mourns.
She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota.
It's so personal because she was just the most dear person.
Sad day for America. We need to do something, America. Come together.
A manhunt is still underway tonight after two state lawmakers and their spouses were shot.
Minnesota House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark were killed early this morning in their home in Brooklyn Park. This photo is from last night at the Humphrey Mondale dinner, a DFL fundraiser. State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were also shot in their home. Family members have said that Yvette shielded their daughter Hope from the gunman with her own body.
And the FBI is now leading a multi-agency search for this man, 57-year-old Vance Belter. They are offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. Now, he is 6'1", weighs 220 pounds, and is considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, call 911.
Now from the night team, breaking news. Protesters and police clashing during demonstrations in Los Angeles.
Then a manhunt intensifying for the suspect accused of killing a Minnesota state lawmaker and wounding another.
Then family members say a Chelsea student was arrested by ICE. The teen's mother now speaking out.
Showers starting to clear out tonight. It looks like we'll see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. I'll let you know who will see some.
Plus, President Trump marking the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army with a parade in Washington, D.C.
And Israel and Iran trading blows tonight, the latest on the back and forth strikes in the Middle East.
7 News at 9 starts now.
First here at 9 o'clock, breaking news. Police clashing with protesters during demonstrations in Los Angeles. We're taking a live look over the streets of LA where those protests continue tonight. Officials say the demonstrations have been mostly peaceful today, but several arrests have been made.
Now on 7 News.
As a military parade barrels through our nation's capital, opponents of President Trump taking to the streets, rallying in hundreds of cities across the nation.
The No Kings protests fanning out across South Florida as thousands of people demonstrated against the commander-in-chief. We have live team coverage.
Manhunt in Minnesota. Authorities searching for a shooter who killed a state lawmaker and her husband and left 2 others injured.
A barrage of attacks continue between Israel and Iran as fears of a wider regional war intensify.
Plus, 2 people killed and another injured when gunfire rings out in Wynwood. The Miami Police Department says several officers opened fire. I'm Robin Simmons.
I'm Jack Royer. The night team first at 10 starts right now.
This is 7 News at 10.
At the top at 10 o'clock, a patriotic display rolling through our nation's capital. The U.S. Army putting on the largest show of military might in more than 3 decades.
This as hundreds of thousands of demonstrators filled the streets of cities and towns across the country in a coordinated event known as No Kings, a national day of peaceful protests against the Trump administration. Hello and good evening on this Saturday. President Trump's long-promised military parade happening today on his 79th birthday with tanks rolling through the streets of Washington officially for the Army's 250th anniversary.
No Kings protests escalating late in Denver as hundreds face off with police. Denver 7 in the middle of it all, showing you how DPD responded. We also have eyes on demonstrations across Colorado and across the country denouncing President Trump's policies, while he hosted a massive military parade on the streets of our nation's capital.
Hours of tension tonight leading to this moment as a wall of protesters came face to face with Denver police at Denver's No Kings protest. Officers in riot gear deploy smoke when the crowd refuses to back down. A Denver 7 crew capturing that moment, even feeling the effects of it themselves as officers fired pepper balls and smoke filled the air.
Welcome to News 3 at 5. I'm Jasmine Shamis. Here's a look at some of the top stories from across our region, including an annual event that has returned to our region, and it'll have you going up, up, and away. We'll take a look. Plus, dozens hit the streets today in Carbondale, part of the growing No Kings protest movements. We'll take you there. But first, the latest on the deadly attack on Minnesota lawmakers today and what local officials are saying tonight.
It's a summery afternoon with off and on showers and storms. This looks like a pattern that's staying in place for some time. I'll explain coming up. News 3 at 5 starts now.
This is News 3 at 5.
First at 5, a massive manhunt is underway in Minnesota. Police are searching for a shooter they say targeted 2 Minnesota state lawmakers and their spouses.
KVUE News at 6 starts right now.
Thank you for choosing KVUE News at 6. The No Kings protest is happening right now in Austin. Thousands of people are protesting the Trump administration here and across the country. Austin's demonstration just hitting the hour mark. KVUE is covering the protest from all angles on the ground from a bird's eye view and along the outskirts of protest lines. Let's get straight to KVUE's Tony Ploheski, who is live along the outskirts of the protest. We see the bird's eye view right now, Tony, but what is the atmosphere like on the ground?
Breaking news from 16 News Now.
We are coming on the air this morning with breaking news. After 12 people were injured in a shooting in Elkhart overnight, one of those victims has died. Now, our team has been working through the night to get the latest details from authorities and from the scene, and here's what we know so far. This all happened just after 1 this morning. Elkhart police were called to the 300 block of West Garfield on a shots fired call. They quickly learned just how serious things were.
Live from Washington, this is BBC News. More explosions in the skies above Tel Aviv and Jerusalem tonight. Iran and Israel continuing to strike each other as the conflict intensifies. Sir Keir Starmer joins leaders of the world's richest nations in Canada ahead of Monday's G7 summit. The escalating conflict in the Middle East is expected to dominate. And a manhunt is underway in Minnesota for the gunman who killed a state lawmaker. I'm Helena Humphrey, glad you could join me. Israel says that it is targeting missile launching sites in Iran as the conflict between the two countries continues for a fourth night. The latest confirmed target, the head of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps intelligence unit, was killed in an Israeli strike, with explosions hitting Tehran on Sunday, including a foreign ministry building in the Iranian capital.
Right now on WCCO News, a nationwide manhunt.
All options are on the table.
New discoveries in the search for the man suspected of killing a beloved state lawmaker and her husband and wounding another lawmaker and his wife, recalling the legacies of the victims.
Speaker Hortman looked across the aisle and didn't see her political opponents. She saw people who ran for office for the same reason she did, which was to make a difference.
As a community mourns.
Our country is in such turmoil, and it just doesn't need to be this way.
Also tonight, a severe weather threat.
We have a next weather alert day coming up tomorrow. I'll let you know all the details.
WCCO News starts now with breaking news.
As we come on the air tonight, WCCO has learned from multiple sources that the man accused of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses in their homes, Vance Belter, has been taken into custody in a field in Sibley County. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office released this photo of the arrest moments ago. Tonight, we are covering all angles of this breaking news. The search for Belter wound its way to a remote highway in Sibley County today. We will be live there in just a few minutes with our Jason Rantala. This all happened about 10 minutes from his home in Green Isle and across the metro from Champlin, where it all started. At 2 a.m. Saturday morning, Champlin police learned that State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette were shot. They activated other departments, including Brooklyn Park Police. At 3:35 a.m., they found House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark shot in their home.
Now, breaking news from KARE 11.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. As we come on the air, we bring you news of the arrest and apprehension of shooting suspect Vance Belter, the man who had been the focus of a manhunt for hours today in the area of Green Isle near a home that he owned. We can report that he has been apprehended, and as you can see from this picture that was just put out on social media by Sheriff Bob Fletcher, they obviously apprehended him alive in that area that they had been searching since early this morning around 7 a.m. And we understand that he was arrested today in a field.
And so we have a lot of new details about this arrest that happened just within the last hour. We also have new details from the crimes themselves because the Hennepin County Attorney has already written a criminal complaint, and he will be charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder as soon as he is able to be brought into custody.
So welcome news, obviously, for everyone in that Green Isle neighborhood. They had been on edge last night knowing that he owned property in that area and that he was clearly an armed and dangerous man. Also, we know it is welcome news for all kinds of elected officials who are currently holding office and those who have held office in the past. Already tonight, House Speaker Lisa Damuth put out a statement clarifying and saying that she was relieved. Dean Phillips, who served for the 3rd Congressional District for several years, also tweeted out that he had been on that list.
Breaking right now at 11, the manhunt in Minnesota is over. Nearly 2 days after a brazen act of political violence killed one lawmaker and put another in the hospital, NBC News now confirming that suspect is in custody. The latest details from Minnesota just minutes away. Plus, crews are hard at work cleaning up from yesterday's military parade here in the nation's capital, but those frustrating road closures still in place with morning rush hour just hours away. We'll tell you when officials are hoping to lift the restrictions.
And flooding has led to rain has led to some flooding issues in the area. Coming up, I have details on flood alerts still in the area and also the rain expected for the week ahead.
News 4 at 11 starts now.
We'll get to the details in Minnesota in just a minute, but we begin tonight with a look at Storm Team 4 radar. As rain continues to move through the region, this wet weather is here for the beginning of your work week too. Make sure to pack a rain jacket and umbrella as you head out the door tomorrow. Thanks for joining us at News 4 at 11. I'm Ted Oberg. Let's get right over to meteorologist Jessica Faith with a first look at our forecast.
Live on your side, WBTV News starts right now.
And we're in the final days of spring, but it already feels so much like summer, and that trend will continue. We'll look ahead at that 7-day forecast coming up.
Plus, authorities have found the man they believe killed a Minnesota lawmaker, but we also have an update on the mass shooting from Catawba County, another suspect now behind bars.
But first at 11, it was a hot and stormy Father's Day across the area. Storms forced summer pops to be canceled tonight at Symphony Park. Thank you for joining us. I'm Natisha Lance.
And I'm Delfrida Jones. We're checking in with First Alert meteorologist Rachel Coulter tonight. And Rachel, will we see any more rain throughout the evening and into the early morning as we start our work week?
Live from Augusta, we're watching News 1226 at 11.
Well, good evening and happy Father's Day. I'm Hallie Turner. We're going to send things over to First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. And Emily, what should everyone be looking forward to as they begin their work week? I know we've got a lot of hot temperatures coming up this week.
Storm Tracker Alert Day for tomorrow.
Spring on the Gulf Coast means severe weather season is here. With fast-moving storms that can disrupt your whole day.
Big changes overnight.
But you're good because you watch Fox 10 Storm Tracker Weather. And you get the Storm Tracker alerts for where you live. Fox 10 Storm Tracker Weather. Most watched, most trusted.